Even though Seth Rollins declined to join Roman Reigns again, at this point he has no choice. This might sound like a very bad take in a couple of weeks, but I'm pretty sure it's official by now. Well, unless Roman Reigns and the Bloodline revealed, well, the secret weapon. Maybe they have Ricky in their back pocket. That would be game over for the new Bloodline. People, we just got another episode of Raw and it was pre-taped. You know, more than anything, it made me realize how much I appreciate live television.
Live TV is awesome.
And it also made me realize pre-taped wrestling would not work nowadays because of social media mostly. It was not a bad episode, but I knew everything that happened. I knew Sheamus didn't win the Intercontinental Championship. I knew Rhea Ripley came back. And also these backstage segments, right? You can tell they have piped in crowd effects. So it makes me wonder, do people who are watching this in the arena, did they see these segments or did we only saw the, you know what I mean? Also, this episode spoiled SmackDown. I'm not chasing spoilers by any means, but if you use social media for 5 minutes, everything will be spoiled. And I get it. So people, drop that like, subscribe if you already didn't, and let's jump into Monday Night Raw. The show kicks off with the Women's War Games segment. So basically we had Liv, we have Nia, and they kinda have some mutual respect for each other, even though Nia doesn't really care. Then we got the baby faces, Io Sky, and it's pretty clear they're building War Games right now. Rhea Ripley out of nowhere makes her return with the undashing gimmick, and simply says War Games before headbutting Liv. So we got this big fight between the two War Games teams, and I gotta be honest right here, the amount of talent is insane. Just the best of the best when it comes to the women's division, but I gotta be honest, this one, unlike the Bloodline War Games match, this feels forced. You know, I'm not gonna complain, whatever, 2 War Games matches, I'm happy, but again, unlike the Bloodline match, this one feels forced. It doesn't really feel like it needs to be a War Games match. This rivalry kinda came out of nowhere. We got a mixed tag team match, right? Rey Mysterio and Zelina versus Chad Gable and Nile, which was fine, but again, we're facing the same issues. The match was alright, and again, Chad Gable lost the match, which made American Made frustrated. I mean, they almost started fighting each other. I get it. Rey Mysterio is an absolute legend, and I'm happy he's getting those W's, right? I hate when legends all of a sudden just start losing a match after match after match. I get that. On the other hand, Chad Gable keeps losing these matches. We thought he's gonna be the next big thing, the Intercontinental Champion. This faction is gonna be so much better than American Alpha, or Alpha Academy, I mean. All he's doing right now on Raw is just collecting losses. We looked at this and felt like, okay, this reminds us of Kurt Angle, Charlie Haas, and Shelton Benjamin. But it's not like that at all. I just simply don't understand why WWE decided to make this team goofy. I really wish they were more serious, because now it just feels like the same thing over again. Liv is under the weather, so Finn Bálor takes the lead. He gives Dominik, Mysterio, and Carlito advice on how to beat the War Raiders. People, let me tell you, let me just feed you some wise information. A man who doesn't wash or clean his ass after taking a poo is a dangerous man. And there's 2 of them. 2 people with smelly ass butts. This one's gonna be a slobber knocker. So yes, we got the match pretty fine. At least you gotta appreciate the War Raiders are treated differently this time around. And I keep saying this, I love that it's not a goofy gimmick anymore. They just happen to like that shit, and they're not actually, you know, living in the woods and cleaning their asses with leaves. And of course, they won the match, as expected. But then we got the Judgment Day with the attack, and they stand tall. That's most the Judgment Day nowadays can do, by the way. They always lose the match, but at least they stand tall. You didn't achieve shit. This Final Testament versus Wyatt Sicks rivalry is really intriguing and finally made me like Karrion Kross, which again is crazy. I thought this guy is doomed, but so far, loving it. But yes, it was a setup which, again, I told you last week, kinda ruins it a little bit. I just love the way Karrion Kross treated The Miz, but now that we know it's fake, it was a setup, you know, a fakey-dakey. That kinda ruins it for me, but hey, at least he had a plan. And oh my god, Bo Dallas looks so much like Bray Wyatt. I know, almost as if they are brothers, but seriously, look at this. Man, I really hope they're going to do something special between the Final Testament and Wyatt Sicks. I think this needs to be a big-ass match. It really sounds like something that would work for War Games, but we ain't getting that. So hopefully something along those lines, because this literally feels like a War Games match. I know it's not big enough, I understand. You know, it's a mid-card match. But still, man, you can tell Gunther is losing all the confidence. Look into my eyes. Do you still see the same ring general? Of course I do. So he decided to prove it to himself. He tried to choke out Damian Priest, but got his ass handed to him. Well, he got kicked into the deck. Well, it's really unfair, by the way. He didn't prove shit. Damian didn't prove shit. You kicked another man into the dick, into the cojones. Of course he's not gonna, swing back. He's done. He's done for the day. It's over. I don't know if I ever told you that story, by the way, but back when I was like 10, 11 years old, we were playing wrestling in the backyard, just a bunch of DDTs and RKOs because we couldn't do shit. I hit a DDT on one dude, and his knee went straight into my nuts. I felt that for like 3 days. Literally, I had a thought, I'm never gonna have kids. It was a painful experience. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that Gunther had no chance. We saw the Intercontinental Championship, even though I knew the result. The match was amazing, and Bron Breakker keeps surprising me with his goddamn moveset. This dude is absolutely crazy. So I was enjoying this match, typical Sheamus hard-hitting shit, which I always love, but Ludwig Kaiser interfered, caused a disqualification, and stood tall, which is something I appreciate. He's back in the mid-card. It almost felt like WWE are giving up on this shit, but they're trying to build this guy as an actual mid-carder instead of just being, Gunther's goofball. Literally, dude has a bright future in the WWE if everything goes right. You just can't stand this guy. I don't know what it is about Ludwig Kaiser. I believe he's a dick. I really do. I hope he's not, but again, even if he's not, he is. So the Bloodline tried to talk Seth Rollins into joining them again, making all these points. I mean, we all have these differences, but we need to do this. Seth Rollins says, I would do it for Jimmy, I would do it for Jay, I would do it for Sammy, not for Roman Reigns. There's no way. And you don't have to worry about Bronson Reed, because I'm gonna take care of him tonight. And as we all know, he didn't. So what that mean, Great One? What that mean? He's gonna join the team, come on. People are in the comments shitting, oh, he thinks Seth Rollins is joining. Of course he is. What do you mean? Am I crazy? Or is it really obvious? Well, if he's not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll just start the video by saying I'm a dumbass, I guess. Before we talk about the match, we got Kofi talking to Alpha Academy. Xavier Woods says we need to talk things out, get on the same page, but I still keep thinking about what Karrion Kross said. Kofi gets angry, why do you care about this goofball? So they basically started fighting again. Otis tried to help. Xavier basically says, who are you to give us advice? You're not a real tag team. Oh yeah, he's turning heel. By the way, let me know in the comments below. This is where I am a dumbass. 10-year anniversary of the New Day when? Didn't they announce that like a couple of weeks ago? Did they ever reveal the date? I have no idea. But that is when Xavier Woods is turning heel. I'm pretty sure, man. Well, we finally got in the main event of Raw, Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. At the beginning of the match, we see the Bloodline and the other Bloodline took care of them. The match continues, it's going fine. It seems like Seth Rollins might end up getting the W, which is something I wouldn't agree with. Bronson needs these Ws, trust me. But we see Solo with a distraction, and of course, Bronson Reed picks up the W. The show ends with Bronson Reed and Solo standing tall. Seth Rollins is just laying in the ring, helpless. Again, he's gonna join. He has no choice at this point. Seth Rollins has no choice. A lot of people are talking about this other member. I forgot the name. He's an indie talent right now. Was also Samoan, by the way. I don't think that's gonna happen right now. And if he is gonna join, I kinda think he's gonna join Solo. I don't think he's joining the OG Bloodline. That loses the whole purpose of it being OG. It's not the OG anymore if we keep adding members. Can't happen. And I also believe the Bloodline, like the OG Bloodline, is not a long-term thing anyway. I think it's gonna end pretty soon after WarGames. Maybe we'll get moments here and there. If it stays as a team, awesome. I hope it does. I just don't see it happening. So Seth Rollins is most likely joining the faction. WarGames is looking really good. I just hope they have something for Karrion Kross and The Miz, because at the end of the day, we need to switch it up. We can't keep watching the same talent on premium live events. We need to switch it up, man. We need to switch it up. So thank you for watching this video. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you already didn't. And as always, your boy, The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.